Welcome back to Galaxy Recaps. Today we'll be diving into an action thriller sci-fi film titled World of Warcraft. Enjoy the recap. Our story begins with Durotan, the chieftain of the Frostwolf clan, and his pregnant wife Draka sharing a quiet moment, discussing potential names for their unborn son. Little do they know, a grand adventure is about to unfold. Durotan is summoned to a meeting with the Orc clans, where they are led by the menacing Gul'dan, a dark warlord. Gul'dan, with his loyal half-orc translator Garona at his side, surveys the preparations for an impending battle. The gravity of the situation quickly becomes clear when a prisoner in a cage begs Garona to save her child. However, Gul'dan coldly reveals that he uses life itself as a fuel for his twisted, fell magic. Gul'dan's ultimate plan is to create a portal between his world and Azeroth, to conquer it and fuel his dark power. But the portal can only stay open long enough for a warband of the strongest orcs to venture into Azeroth and capture prisoners, thus ensuring the portal remains open and Gul'dan's power continues to grow. Durotan, his wife Draka, and his trusted warrior Orgrim, along with the rest of the clan, bravely step through the portal into Azeroth. As they arrive, Draka goes into labor, and with Gul'dan's assistance, despite the objections of the other orcs, she gives birth to their son. When the child begins to fade, Gul'dan uses his fell magic to drain the life from a nearby deer and revive the baby, proudly declaring him a new warrior. Meanwhile, in Azeroth, we meet Anduin Lothar, one of King Lan's most trusted warriors. Lothar is inspecting a new weapon in Ironforge, a mechanical gun known as the Boomstick, when a messenger arrives with urgent news. One of his garrisons has been attacked and he is needed at Stormwind immediately. Upon arriving at the royal castle, Lothar meets a prisoner named Khadgar who fails to cast a spell on him. Lothar notices a peculiar mark on Khadgar's arm, the Kirin Tor mark, and Khadgar reveals that he was once a guardian novitiate, tasked with protecting the realm. However, Khadgar renounced his vows, eager to uncover the mystery behind the attacks. Lothar agrees to help him examine the bodies of the fallen soldiers, and when a mysterious green light emanates from one of the corpses, Khadgar insists they call upon the Guardian for help. Lothar and Khadgar travel to the royal castle, where Lothar is reunited with his sister, Lady Teria, who is married to King Lan and his son Callan. After hearing Khadgar's recommendation, King Lan agrees to summon the Guardian Medivh. He sends Lothar and Khadgar to Karazhan's stronghold with a blue ring as a message for the Guardian. At Karazhan, they are greeted by Moros, who leads Lothar to meet Medivh at the top of the tower. Khadgar, meanwhile, explores the library and is drawn to a mysterious figure that vanishes behind bookshelves. As he investigates, his Kirin Tor mark begins to glow brightly, and he discovers a book tied to justice. When Medivh catches him and confronts him, Khadgar mentions the fell magic, realizing the gravity of the situation. Medivh transports the trio back to Stormwind, where they find citizens reporting terrifying monsters attacking the kingdom. Lothar suggests they capture prisoners to gather more information, but King Lan cautions about the unknown dangers they are facing. Despite the looming threat, Lothar, Medivh, Khadgar, and a team of soldiers venture deep into Elwyn Forest to investigate signs of enemy activity. Their suspicions are confirmed when they encounter the eerie green glow of fell magic on the trees. However, their mission takes a deadly turn as they are ambushed by Durotan's clan. Both sides suffer casualties in the ensuing skirmish. Lothar warns his men not to match strength with the towering orcs but to rely on strategy and wit. During the battle, Lothar wounds Blackhand, the orc war chief, while Khadgar uses his magic to defend himself. Medivh unleashes his powerful magic to drain the fell energy from the orcs, though he notices that the Frostwolf clan, including Durotan and Orgrim, shows no signs of the corrupted magic, allowing them to escape. The humans manage to capture Garona, a half-orc who surprisingly speaks their language. Under questioning, Garona reveals the orcs' plan to invade Azeroth using prisoners to fuel fell magic. She describes the massive green gate that brought them to this world, powered by the life-draining fell energy. Meanwhile, back at the orc camp, Blackhand faces Gul'dan's judgment for retreating in battle, a dishonorable act among orcs. Durotan intervenes during the judgment, warning his people that Gul'dan's use of fell magic is endangering their kind. However, Gul'dan dismisses his concerns, arrogantly claiming he alone can control the fell. This confrontation plants a seed of doubt in Durotan about Gul'dan's leadership. In the human camp, Medivh secretly questions Garona in her cell. She reveals that a demon showed Gul'dan how to construct the gate, but before she can reveal more, Medivh mysteriously vanishes as others enter her cell. Queen Teria, sensing Garona's inner conflict, offers her kindness, a drink, and a chance at freedom, empathizing with her plight. Later, Garona, Lothar, and Khadgar venture into the woods to spy on the Orc Gate. Around a campfire, they share stories of their tragic pasts, forming a bond and gaining a deeper understanding of each other. Garona explains that fell magic consumes life like fire burns wood, and that Gul'dan plans to bring all the orcs to Azeroth after the initial warband has secured control. As Lothar rides ahead to strategize with King Lan, Garona and Khadgar encounter Durotan, who requests a meeting with the Human King. He hopes to form an alliance, believing that only together can they stand against Gul'dan's fell magic. Back in Stormwind, King Lan gathers representatives from the various races of Azeroth to discuss the orc threat. However, most of them are reluctant to act, preoccupied with their own affairs. Garona delivers Durotan's message to King Lan, who deduces that Durotan is genuinely terrified of the fell magic and seeks help to protect his people. Despite Lothar's skepticism, King Lan decides to trust Garona's portrayal of Durotan as an ally against a common enemy. Queen Teria further solidifies this trust by gifting Garona a blade, a gesture of faith and a means of self-defense. Meanwhile, Medivh visits Khadgar's quarters and dismisses his research on fell magic, going so far as to burn all his work. Medivh insists he alone will handle the fell and warns Khadgar to stay out of it. However, Khadgar manages to save a crucial piece of his research, uncovering a clue involving a dark portal and the name Aladai. Against Orgrim's advice, Durotan follows through with his plan and meets King Lan, hoping to unite the Frostwolf clan and the humans against Gul'dan. Tragically, their efforts are sabotaged when Blackhand ambushes them under Gul'dan's orders. Durotan is branded a traitor, leaving his alliance with the humans in jeopardy and his clan's future uncertain. The humans retreat under heavy assault but are saved at the last moment by Medivh, who conjures a magical barrier to protect them. However, the barrier tragically separates Lothar's son Callan and several soldiers from the main group. Helpless, Lothar can only watch in despair as Blackhand mercilessly takes Callan's life, his cries of anguish echoing through the battlefield. After the battle, Medivh is found unconscious on a cliff. Garona and Khadgar rush him to Karazhan for healing, but Khadgar notices a sinister green glow in Medivh's eyes, hinting at his connection to fell magic. Alarmed, Khadgar leaves Karazhan in search of answers. Meanwhile, Durotan, desperate to protect his people, agrees to Gul'dan's demands to ensure their safety. He instructs Draka to flee with their newborn son, whom he names Goel. Orgrim, however, betrays Durotan's intentions to Gul'dan, revealing that the Frostwolf clan has turned against the use of fell magic. Elsewhere, Khadgar travels to the Kirin Tor seeking guidance. Though met with disdain, he is granted an audience with Aladai, a mystical entity akin to a guardian. Aladai reveals a chilling truth. Medivh has fallen under the corrupting influence of fell magic and is no longer in control of his powers. Back at Karazhan, as Moros tends to Medivh's recovery, the Guardian's true horrifying nature is revealed. Corrupted by the fell, Medivh drains the life from Moros, killing him in a shocking display of power. In Stormwind, King Lan wrestles with the weight of his decisions. Lothar urges him to launch a full-scale assault on the Magic Gate, but their discussion is interrupted by Medivh's unexpected arrival. A heated confrontation ensues, with Lothar blaming Medivh for Callan's death. Overcome with rage, Lothar is thrown into a cell to cool off. Garona visits Lothar in his cell, informing him of King Lan's decision to lead an assault on the gate. Lothar warns her not to trust Medivh and begs her to stay safe with him. However, Garona courageously decides to fight alongside King Lan and the troops. Meanwhile, Khadgar convinces Lothar that their first priority must be stopping Medivh to protect Azeroth from the fell's growing influence. Draka, fleeing with baby Goel, makes a heart-wrenching decision to place her son in a basket and send him downstream, hoping to save him from the Frostwolf clan's grim fate. As the current carries Goel away, Draka is ambushed and tragically killed, her sacrifice a haunting reminder of the stakes. Determined to stop Gul'dan, Durotan challenges him to a Mak'gora, a traditional duel to the death for leadership of the Orcs. The duel begins, but as it rages on, Gul'dan, consumed by ambition, uses fell magic to drain Durotan's life instead of fighting honorably. This betrayal of Orc tradition causes unrest among the clans, but Gul'dan quashes the rebellion, rallying the remaining warband to prepare for the impending human attack led by King Lan. At Karazhan, Lothar and Khadgar confront Medivh, who is now fully consumed by fell magic and transforming into a demon. Medivh begins casting a spell to open the portal, but his golem attacks Lothar and Khadgar. Lothar devises a plan and manages to decapitate the golem, giving them a brief advantage. Khadgar urges Lothar to distract Medivh while he attempts to stop the spell. Lothar reaches out to Medivh, appealing to the Guardian's humanity buried beneath the fell corruption. Just as Medivh prepares to strike Lothar, the headless golem collapses onto him, interrupting his attack. Khadgar bravely confronts the demon-possessed Medivh, holding his own against the overwhelming fell magic. Lothar offers words of encouragement, affirming his faith in Khadgar's strength. Khadgar's determination pays off as Medivh begins to regain control of himself. In his final moments, Medivh, now fully human, uses the last of his life force to chant a spell, redirecting the portal to Stormwind. In the midst of the battlefield, King Lan spots the portal glowing with life. Finally realizing the Guardian's aid has come, relief washes over him, and he quickly orders his forces, including Garona, to form a protective ring around the portal. Their mission: free the captives and ensure their safe passage to Stormwind. However, their hopes are shattered as Medivh draws his last breath, causing the portal to shut abruptly. With the humans now vulnerable, the Orcs regroup and launch a ferocious attack from the rear. As Blackhand advances with the intent to claim the honor of killing the king, Lan makes a selfless decision. He orders Garona to end his life, understanding that her survival and the respect she might gain among the Orcs could pave the way for peace between their warring races. With great hesitation, Garona delivers the fatal blow, earning the Orcs' respect and positioning herself as a figure of potential influence in their ranks. Meanwhile, Lothar, undeterred by the chaos, fights his way to the battlefield's heart. Amid the carnage, he retrieves King Lan's body but is ambushed and knocked unconscious. He awakens to find himself in the midst of a Makora, a ceremonial duel arranged by Blackhand himself. Handed King Lan's sword, Lothar faces off against Blackhand in a dramatic showdown. To the shock of all, Lothar defeats Blackhand with a single decisive strike. The Orcs, bound by their traditions, honor his victory despite Gul'dan's orders to kill him. Garona, wielding her newfound influence, steps in to defend Lothar. She warns Gul'dan that violating the sacred tradition by killing Lothar would fracture the Orcs' loyalty to him. Her argument proves persuasive, and Lothar is allowed to leave with King Lan's body. However, as Lothar departs, he notices the unmistakable mark of Garona's blade on the king's neck. This revelation casts her in a suspicious light, leading Lothar to assume she has betrayed them. As King Lan is laid to rest, the various races of Azeroth gather in unity, forming an alliance to stand against the Orc threat. They rally behind Lothar, who emerges as the leader of this new coalition determined to protect Azeroth at all costs. Meanwhile, far from the battlefield, a group of humans discovers a small figure drifting down a river. It's Goel, the son of Durotan and Draka, carrying the hope of a new future. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.